Hello, this is Kim Gajraj, and you're listening to The Activation Show, a voice art podcast to help you speak and live your truth. And this episode is called How to Dare.
I want to see your eyes shine like precious stones, 'cause that means you're coming home and the whole world is shining with you. And the whole world is shining with you.
So I had a really epic new breakthrough the other day in my mindset shifts, I guess you can say, in my most subtle inner makeup that makes me see the world in the way I do and act in the world in the way that I do, makes that shift. Like this whole kind of, like every smaller than every cell, finer tuned than every cell, is kind of warping and twisting in this kind of way that the other side of that is the world looking totally different. And that came, I've shared about it, I think, a couple of times, one in a lighter way when I was just sharing about that the postman bumped into me at that point. And also partly in a slightly deeper way of talking about what actually was that super raw, super vulnerable moment that postman walked into. It was this shift. And the shift came from reading, I'm reading at the moment a book called Chill and Prosper by Denise Duffield Thomas. I know that she's quite well known by now. If you listening to this, you might know Denise already, but I came across her quite recently. I started reading her book. Just now I've been having a bath and listening to some of her podcasts. I love when somebody has written a book that I really love and I'm really vibing with. I love when that person also has a podcast. Because that's the thing about the voice. You can really feel a person so much more through their voice. I think you can even more than that through a video, because then you can also see them and you can see their movements and their gestures. But the fact that you also get so much of their energy from their podcast or, their voice message in the DMs, you really feel so much more from the other person. Oh, that would turn into a little tangent about how important the voice is. I could easily get tangented into that. But yeah, I was reading this book, and Denise mentions in that book some of her affirmations. I think that I did kind of piece them together a little bit, but what I took away from just reading those early chapters of the book was the affirmation, "This is my time, and I'm ready for the next step. I'm good enough. I deserve success. I believe in myself." And those words, when I was reading the book already, through Denise kind of feeding my inner world with her words, I was already starting to feel this shift. And it was especially coming from, this is my time and I'm ready. This is my time and I'm ready. I started asking myself, all of these dreams that I have, that I'm waiting, these future dreams of this is what I'm going to do in the future. Make a podcast that is based on me talking about things that I'm passionate about and also my art inextricably intertwined. Am I ready to do that now? And the answer that came back to me was yes. Am I ready to write a book? Holy darn heck, I've won academic awards for my Oxford essays. And now in my 7 years as a facilitator, I have also become highly skilled at communicating concepts behind my work to people in a way that they will understand in their body. And then the beauty of that skill as a facilitator, by the way, is to there's then 2 phases of understanding. There's this mindset shift of, oh yeah, I get that. I'm excited about that because I see that that's important. I see that that is going to benefit me. I get it. And then there's a second step beyond that of, and now I'm going to show you in your body what it feels like. And those 2 skills of really communicating something in a way that people can understand on an intellectual and a feeling level of whoa, I feel an embodied shift when I hear that. Combined with the more academic writing skills that I developed, the more intellectual discussion of a theme, I have developed that very highly too. It is new for me, yes, of course, to bring everything together and actually write a book. I have not written a book before. But do I believe in myself? Do I believe in myself that I can do it? This term is thrown around a lot. Just believe in yourself. You can do anything. Just believe in yourself. What does that mean? What does that mean? Do I believe in myself enough that I can just start to write a book now, knowing that I learn by doing? I recorded my album. I had maybe 4 lessons in Ableton. I just learn better when I start doing the thing. I know that, but to start doing the thing takes getting over a hump of, I haven't done this before. I have no proof that I can do this. I have no proof. But do I believe in myself? Do I believe in that what I have right now is ready for that step? Sometimes the answer is going to be no. There's some things in my dream list that I'm not ready for, but you know what? The most highly charged ones, the ones that when I look at them, I get a buzz, either of curiosity and excitement and fluttery exhilaration, or fear and whoa, resistance, procrastination. Those more highly charged ones are actually the ones where if I really ask myself from that deepest place of power, am I ready for that step? The answer is yes. I'm ready to make a podcast. I'm ready to make a voice art podcast. I'm ready to write a book. I've already started. This is my time, and I'm ready for the next step. I'm good enough. I deserve success. I believe in myself.
This is my time, and I am ready for the next step. I'm good enough. I deserve success. I believe in myself. This is my time, and I'm ready for the next step. I'm good enough. I deserve success. I believe in myself. This is my time, and I'm ready for the next step. I'm good enough. I deserve success. I believe in myself. This is my time, and I'm ready for the next step. I'm good enough. I deserve success. I believe in myself. This is my time, and
I'm ready for the next step. I'm good enough. I deserve success. I believe in myself. This is my time. And I'm ready for the next step. I'm good enough. I deserve success. I believe in myself. This is my time. And I'm ready for the next step. I'm good enough. I deserve success. I believe in myself. This is my time. And I'm ready for the next step. I'm good enough. I deserve success. I believe in myself. And that is the raw, vulnerable moment that the postman walked into. Disclaimer, as I'm saying this, I haven't recorded that part yet. But as I was just riffing on this topic, I guess, of I believe in myself, I just got this idea. This is part of the voice art. This is gonna transition into what that actually was when I had that shift. Because it started off with reading Denise's book, and then I took that affirmation and I used it in my most powerful way for embodying an affirmation, which is to start to introduce musical improvisation and voice. Because I think what I noticed in myself in the past was if I was reading a book or something and then there were these suggested affirmations, I would kind of step into a little bit of side skirting when it came to voicing out loud. I would, instead of saying them out loud 10 times, I would write them 20 times in my journal. And that was the good enough way of doing that. And if I really look deeper into why actually writing 20 affirmations feels easier than saying 10, it's because the voice is that bit more vulnerable. For me to just start speaking out loud, even if I'm on my own in a room, there can be a little hump. I felt that little hump. And it's not just about the vulnerable aspect of it's a bit unusual to start speaking aloud in a room. It is also that, my voice is made by my body. So because my voice is made in my body, it is sort of colored by what I'm feeling in my body. It is colored by that. And that is very powerful. That makes the affirmation more powerful. And then and it brings in more variety. When I'm repeating an affirmation over and over again, I can feel it in some very different ways. And when I'm voicing that, that's reflected in my voice. My voice can change very much through the journey of really diving deep with an affirmation. And then add the music and the improvisation onto the top of that, and you have even more variety. Because music also makes us feel. And the variety, when it is focused on a specific thing, it allows us to dig into deeper layers, different colors of that thing, that this is my time. This is my time. The podcast episode, also by Denise, that I was listening to in the bath, brought in, I am a creative genius. And I was like, holy shit, my friends call me a creative genius. Why can't I call myself a creative genius? Do I believe that? Yes. I am a creative genius. Own it.
I don't know why you're waiting. beating. I have seen it in your eyes. Those 2 feet were made for walking towards everything your heart desires. I know you heard the calling. Why so dazzled by your light? Time to dynamite, blow through those walls. I know you know how to become the sky. Do it now, through the waves in the water. Do it now, through the darkest of nights. Do it now, be everything you were born to. Do it now, do it now, do it now. Do it now, do it now, do it now. There's a power within you, but my dear, something has to die. There's a space that needs to open to know your way to the other side. What's your repulsion to silence? Why so busy all the time? It's time to slide outside those clouds around you. Do you even know how bright you shine? Do it now, through the waves in the water. Do it now, through the darkest of nights. Do it now, be everything you were born to. Do it now, do it now, do it now. Do it now, do it now, do it now. Eyes closed, heart open. All of your life has led you to this moment. The places you've been, the things that you've seen, the spaces of stillness that fell in between. Cause eyes closed are eyes that see. Somewhere within you, you've always been free. That there's no such thing as get there, no such thing as not yet. It's time to shed all of the disrespect for every perfect fucking thing about you and own it. The time has come for you to sing. Do it now, through the waves in the water. Do it now, through the darkest of nights. Do it now, be everything you were born to. Do it now, do it now, do it now. Do it now, do it now, do it now.
Yeah, do it now. Be everything you were born to and do it now. And of course, I can have dreams that are bigger than what I can do now, but there are things. That next step, I am ready for that next step. That is what I love. I love Denise. I love this affirmation because it has so much in it. I'm ready for the next step. So take it. And this is what I cover in the onboarding part of my program. And I've been working with this model. I've been integrating it into my facilitation for many years now. The person that brought it to me, her name is Amalia Wallström, by the way, who's a fantastic artist. And whose art also really resonates with the kinds of beliefs that I have about the world and about life and love and everything like that. It's about that in order for learning and transformation to occur, we do need to go into our stretch zone. And we also need to spend quite a lot. I will put a quote with the makers of this model because I don't know the name off the top of my head right now, but the makers of this model, they recommend spending about 70% of the time in the comfort zone for a healthy nervous system. If it's not the makers of the model who say that, I will check the reference for who says that. But I find that guidance very helpful for not over pushing myself because I really can strive in certain periods. But for also in those other periods where I'm a little bit scared scared, or especially for those specific themes where I am a little bit scared and I can get busy with all of the other things, those ones that are in my stretch zone, it is also great to have the intention of being 30% of the time in the stretch zone. And I think that that's what this affirmation is doing. It's saying, I'm ready for the next step. It is allowing me to create enough of a shift that I can just step boldly into that stretch zone and say, yeah, I am ready. That's the mindset work, right? Stepping into that vibe where it makes it safe for us in our inner world to take that next step. Because we do believe in ourselves. This is the Activation Show. I'm Kim Gajraj. Stay right here because there's more after the break.
Hello. I'm sending this video because I want to share with you my gratitude for this Amplify program that Kim has provided. I contacted Kim because I had a dream to sing and I had no relationship to my voice whatsoever. So, but along the way, so many other doors opened to me and I got to know myself much better and find this intimate relationship to my voice that has been really rewarding and therapeutic and healing. So I want to tell you, no matter what your intention is, this program could be for you, because if you are a human and you have a voice, so that program has something to offer you, that's for sure. Thank you.
At night, I listen to these sleep affirmations by Rising Higher meditations. I really like them. I really like, I'm sorry that I don't know her name, but I really like, I'll put it in the description of this. I really like her voice. I find it really, so if I'm gonna have a shift, I kind of need to surrender. There's a kind of act of surrender and leaning back into that shift. Just trusting to regulate with people's voices. And this woman has the kind of voice that I really can just rest, soften, surrender to. Even though I don't know her, which I think is a really beautiful skill. And also why I think it's really valuable and worthy to work on our embodied voice, our authentic voice, because it makes a difference. It makes a difference. And if that starts to tickle your curiosity, then know that I do have a program. I do have a program where over 4 months, I show you how to really liberate that authentic voice, that authentic expression, and how to write creatively from a very deep place that actually makes it that your creativity becomes a tool for your personal growth. Maybe it is already, and I really think that we can deepen that with the program. But the one that I was listening to last night of this Rising Higher Meditations YouTube channel was about trust. There's a previous one on trust, and this is a new one. They're like 8 hours long. And so I'm also in this process of trusting the world. I'm also in this process of trusting that if I do that, if I take that next step, if I put things on the line, my heart, my money, my energy, my time, my passion, that this world is benevolent and it will reward me for that. If I step off that ledge and I do not know what is beneath me, the world will hold me, the world will catch me. The world will be this cushiony, soft, beautiful space that I land in. And I have no proof, again, I have no proof that this new reality will form around me because I've never been in it. But do I trust the world? Do I trust the world? And there's all sorts of reasons not to. And all reasons not to are the ones that tend to be discussed more in the world, because we are a little bit programmed to be more hypersensitive to fear, because that's what kept us alive so long ago. And because we have media channels that are within a capitalist system, and they need to make money. And what makes the most money is the shitty stuff. But if I look around me, if I look just for a little while, quite often, only around me, and not at the news or surrounding myself with the people who are in the fear, I can create this other little bubble around me. I can find so much evidence that I can trust the world. And I think for those of us who really do have the dream that the world in itself, the world could be a better place, we need to choose to believe. We need to say, I choose to believe that the world can be a different way. Can I just dare to believe that that's possible so that I will take that next step?
Is it really not possible for it to be a different way? Our brilliant minds can and do dream of different kinds of days, where everybody has a voice to say what they want to say, where we smile and hug and not manipulate and invade. But we know the world is scary, and dreams are hard to reach, and there's so much risk to take in practicing what we preach. 'Cause whether it's rejection when we dare to tell the truth, or a precious life violently taken oh so far too soon, in the act of rising, there's a risk that we will fall. In fact, perhaps the act of rising is to risk it all.
I've got the wind in my hair and the stars in my eyes. Am I upside down or am I upright? Or will bones break or will I fly? It's the risk we take when we dare to rise. This is the beginning, it's the start of it all. Getting ready to...
So this episode was actually just going to be a draft. That was my I'm ready for the next step. I thought, okay, you know that hump that I talked about at the beginning of the episode? The one with just years ago starting to say an affirmation out loud. This hump here was, I have all of these ideas in my head about it. It's going to be so great. I'm ready for it. Okay, actually start doing it. Actually start voicing it out loud. Start to see, rather than these sort of slightly, the idea stage, it's not fully linear. I can see all of the pieces floating. I can go into each of those pieces and sort of like consider for a while in my inner world. But for me, at least, that does not come together until I start the output phase. That output phase of expressing it with the intention of communicating it, that is a different thing than just being with it on my own. And it's often where a lot of the resistance rises up. This is basically what my program is revolving around. That output, that moment. A lot of personal development practices, they are quite introverted processes, and so is the voice. And that's how I work with the voice in the beginning. And then it also comes to that act of expression. And I've really found very beautiful tools for the resistance doesn't go away. But I have found beautiful tools for keeping the channel open so that it is not such a block every time something needs to be expressed. Okay, I have a hump now with this podcast recording. Let's just go right through it. I actually, when I was in the bath, got this feeling of, woohoo! I found a block. I found a block. This is so exciting. I get to explore this because I've learned, I know that it's fun. It's challenging and it's also fun. And my channel is open. It is not such a huge deal. It is not such a huge deal to have a difficult conversation with somebody like it used to be. And in fact, beyond getting through that resistance, we can also teach ourselves mastery of that. And again, that comes back to the I believe in myself. When we know that we have the power to stay in our integrity, to stay within our boundaries, and to stay within our loving kindness, and keep our truth, keep our channel open, stay aligned, make it so that my voice is aligned with what is in my inner world. We start to trust ourselves. I don't know what is coming in this difficult conversation, but I trust myself that whatever does come, I can stay grounded, I can stay in integrity, I can stay in truth. I can nurture myself and I can create safety for myself. And it will be okay. It will be more than okay. It will be a chance to deepen my relationship through this difficult conversation. So anyway, I was feeling this little bit of resistance recording this podcast episode. So I thought I will just start a draft. I will just open my voice memo on my phone and just record a draft. There's a lawnmower going on. I don't have a studio space. I can't record the actual episode right now, but I will just make a draft. But you know what? As I was talking, I was thinking, I can't repeat this. I can, of course I can, but this comes back to the I'm good enough. This is now, I'm talking about this now. It won't have the same feeling to me when I come back to it later. I might have new ideas about it, but I started to get this feeling, and this is again back to Denise's affirmation, I'm good enough. Can I believe that even though there's a lawnmower in the background, this is still worth listening to? Because I'm feeling this. I started doing this now because I'm feeling it now, not later, now. That's another common block to free vocal expression and free creative expression. Perfectionism, good girl syndrome, inner critic. We work on those also in my program. And I just decided I'm gonna just post this now. Yeah, there's long pauses. Yeah, I'm taking my time over some of the words, but I claim the right to pause for a moment and choose my words. I don't need to be scripted. I've never been scripted. I'm good enough. I believe in myself. My name is Kim Gajraj. I'm a vocal empowerment coach. I'm really passionate about the voice and the creativity as personal development tools. I think that the breath and the body get a lot more attention than the voice. And yet the voice is such an integral, such a crucial part of how we feel ourselves, of how we relate to ourselves, of how we show up in the world. And it holds a treasure trove of insights and growth points for us in our personal development that it deserves so much more attention. And the program really is for anyone who is interested in personal development, and you are, and I don't even like the word work, but you have that focus of, I know that I know that the more I look into myself and heal my wounds and my traumas and sort of shine, the more the world will shine with me. And yet that act of shining, that output moment of it's time to be seen, it's time to be heard, it's time to show up, is a little bit blocked. I'm on this journey too. But I have come far with this journey, with how expressive I am, with how I can lead a group, with how I can be bold and brave and tender and vulnerable in my creative enterprises. And I have beautiful, beautiful tools that will recondition the way that you relate to this output moment, to your voice, to your creativity, in a way that will shift a little bit your worldview so that you can feel like it's a new reality that you are freely expressing, playfully, deeply, vulnerably, powerfully expressing what is most true to you. That's the power. Allowing what's there, letting it be expressed, developing your artistry in how you express spontaneously, creatively, freely. So, how can I best in podcast form get you to find that program? Maybe there's a way to contact me here, and you can also go to my website, www.kimgajraj.com.
KimGajraj.com, KimGajraj.com. How can you forget it when it's in a song? KimGajraj.com, KimGajraj.com. Sing it loud, write it down, don't spell it wrong. KimGajraj.com, KimGajraj.com. Kim Gajraj, Kim Gajraj, Kim Gajraj, KimGajraj.com. Kim Gajraj, Kim Gajraj, Kim Gajraj, KimGajraj.com.
Yeah, okay, when I said KimGajraj.com, then I got the idea to put that song in. I wrote it a few years ago now when I first launched my website. I held a launch party. I really felt like celebrating that this is a new leveling up. I'm really doing this. And there's a whole music video on YouTube. If you feel like watching that. I think it's on my website as well. It's a whole song. And so what I actually really love that I decided that this wasn't going to be a draft. This was going to be the podcast. I'm ready. It's good enough. I'm good enough. Is that it's so meta. It's like the first episode of the podcast becomes also that act for me, or one of them, one of the big ones of this is my time and I'm ready for the next step. So that's so cool. All right, I'm going to love you and leave you. It's been really fun to do this. I know I'm going to make another one.